recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Gotmark76 this week, 1990.
Wrestling fans, and welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, where the stars of the NWA and World Championship Wrestling have converged to bring you the Great American Bash 90 New Revolution. We have 9 big matches for you tonight, and none bigger than Sting defending his NWA World title against Nature Boy Ric Flair. Bill, this is a must-win for Flair, as this will be Flair's last shot at the title while Sting is World Champion.
It's really a must-win for both men, but with the added stipulation of not getting another title shot if he loses, this makes Flair a very dangerous man. Flair is a former 6-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Will tonight be number 7? We'll find out, Mark.
We also have a similar situation for the Rock and Roll Express, as they will challenge Doom for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. If Ricky and Robert don't win the titles tonight, they will not get another shot while Doom are the champions.
We'll see if Ricky and Robert have anything left after that big steel cage victory over the Freebirds last week. Doom has beat everyone in their path since winning the tag team titles at Wrestle War, and won't have to worry about the Rock and Roll Express ever again if they get past tonight.
The U.S. title will be on the line as the total package Lex Luger defends against Mean Mark Callis. Bill, last week Mean Mark hit Lex Luger with a heart punch as we went off the air. Luger needed medical attention and was advised by his doctors to postpone his title defense for a later date. The total package would have none of it.
Well, Luger's a fighting champion, but Mean Mark has all the momentum heading into this matchup after leaving the champ lying last week. Mean Mark showed how devastating his heart punch can be, and if he hits Luger with it this time, we will have a new U.S. heavyweight champion.
And speaking of the U.S. Championship, Bill, there are 2 men who will be keeping a close eye on that match. As Stan Hansen will battle Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, the winner will receive a future U.S. title match.
Well, you know, there are a few hotter in the sport right now than Paul Orndorff, but Stan Hansen has made it clear that he's here in the NWA for 2 things, money and championship gold. He'll need to get through Mr. Wonderful if he wants to claim both.
The Steiners take on the Horsemen. The Skyscrapers must face Dr. Death and his mystery partner. New World Television Champion Brian Pillman will defend against Buddy Landel. We'll see the North American debut of Big Van Vader. But we start today's show with the U.S. Tag Team title match. Let's head down the ringside. And there they are, making their way to the ring, Bill, the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys of Tracy Smothers and Steve Armstrong.
Well, I'll tell you, Mark, they're one of the hottest teams in the NWA right now. Well, they're going to have a tough task ahead of them in this one as we kick off the Great American Bash here in Baltimore.
We're so lucky to have you with us, this live event on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel, the Wrestling Network Facebook page. And it's going to be a good one here as the only team in NWA history to hold the U.S. and World Tag Team titles simultaneously make their way to the ring.
Well, here come the Midnight Express, led by their erstwhile manager, Master James E. Cornette, Mark.
He is not a mama's boy, Bill. Don't let him hear you say that.
Well, no, certainly not. And I notice here that the U.S. Tag Team belts on the outside of the ropes there. Obviously, that was a Cornette deal right there. You got to think he's proud of his men, and rightfully so. As you mentioned, former World Tag Team Champions. Only team in NWA history, as you mentioned, to hold the NWA and the U.S. Tag title simultaneously. So this is going to be a good one to start off the Great American Bash. Of course, here in Baltimore, Mark, as you well know, site of the last 3 bashes, 88 through 1990. And here we are kicking off what I expect to be a night we all will remember.
Absolutely. As the introduction is being made, you know, I always find it odd that the Midnight Express, they bend the rules a little bit, and they always get the hottest cheers in the Northeast. I cannot explain that.
Well, you know, depending on where they're at, especially in the Philadelphia area, they always get a big pop from the crowd. But you got to think the Southern boys, as hot as they are, they've really gathered a huge fan following throughout the Northeast, the Southeast, and everywhere World Championship Wrestling and the NWA goes.
And that is what we're fighting for here, the U.S. Tag Team Championship. As the introduction is being concluded,
Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan will probably go down as arguably the best version of this tandem. Obviously, Dennis Condrey, a former member of this team, with Cornette as the manager. As you see the U.S. Tag Team belts displayed high for this Baltimore crowd, Mark.
and it's going to be Steve Armstrong and Bobby Eaton starting off this contest. It was Steve Armstrong who got the attention of Beautiful Bobby in a singles match. And then Beautiful Bobby, with a measure of revenge, DDT'd Steve Armstrong on the floor.
Well, Beautiful Bobby's taking it right to Steve Armstrong right now. Steve Armstrong, of course, second-generation wrestler, the one of many sons of Bullet Bob Armstrong, but he's taking the advantage to Bobby now. He's coming back.
And he's the brother of Brad Armstrong, who we saw witnessed in the dark match earlier tonight, as Bob Eaton chops, but fired back by Steve Armstrong. Front face lock has Eaton up and drapes him across the top rope, and that will hurt the midsection of Beautiful Bobby.
That'll knock the wind out of you for sure, Mark. No question about it. Here comes Sweet Stan.
Misses with a drop kick, but misses with a clothesline. And Smothers and Armstrong seem to have the advantage here. Eaton now working the leg of Tracy Smothers. Into the ropes goes Smothers. And a spine buster, beautifully done by Beautiful Bobby, takes down Tracy Smothers.
You know, it's going to be important. Both teams are high-risk, offensive maneuver-minded teams, and either one of these teams will go for the home run just when you least expect it.
And it looked like Bobby took Smothers into his corner to make a tag. The Midnight Express known for their double team maneuvers. But Smothers fought his way out. Roll up from behind by Bobby. Has a pinned 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Tracy Smothers.
That was close, and the U.S. Tag Team titles almost slipping away potentially from the Southern boys, at least their opportunity.
Into the corner. Charges Eaton. Again, cannot make the tag to Lane. It looks like he was going to do a double team maneuver, and Smothers again fought his way out.
And Mark, that was smart by Tracy Smothers. You know that the Midnight Express are tag team specialists, and they rely on that tag. It's now double team here by the Southern boys.
And it's funny, the Southern boys are, and there's Cornette up on the apron. The Southern boys are making frequent tags here, and that's something the Midnight Express are known for.
And this is certainly why the Midnight Express have the advantage, Mark. With manager Jim Cornette at ringside, you got to think that will play and could play a huge part in the outcome of this match.
And there's that tag, but no double team maneuver. Lane throws Armstrong chest first into the top turnbuckle. And a snake eyes, and down goes Steve Armstrong, and Stan Lane now working the arm of Steve Armstrong.
Stan Lane, at one time a Korean karate instructor, Mark, and protege of Nature Boy Ric Flair, as a matter of fact.
Oh, man. We, of course, will see Ric Flair later tonight in our big main event. If he does not beat Sting for that world title, it will be his last opportunity while Sting is the champion.
Trying to reach that elusive 7th World Championship. It can all come crashing down for the Nature Boy later tonight.
Lane with a kick to the midsection. And a beautiful belly-to-belly suplex, nicely done, takes down Steve Armstrong. And an elbow drop missed by Lane.
You wonder if Stan could have gone down for the pin right there. With a team like the Southern boys, Mark, you know you better put them away early, because if they get the advantage on you, we've seen plenty of matches with the Southern boys score some pretty big upsets against some top teams.
Into the ropes, and a nicely done sling blade takes down Steve Armstrong. Lane now throws him into the corner. And here comes that tag team maneuver, of course, the Midnight Express. Lane holding him, and a high-low by Eaton.
Wow.
Goes for the cover. Referee counts 1 and broken up by Tracy Smothers.
What a great tag tag team maneuver by the Midnight Express. Ooh, gutbuster on Tracy Smothers.
And that's going to take out Smothers in a swinging neckbreaker by Beautiful Bobby. He's going up top, Bill.
He's going to his favorite perch. We might see that Alabama Jam, Mark.
He has him set up, but wait, Armstrong. Oh, with a front kick. And that brings Cornette up on the apron.
What's he doing, Mark? Looks like he's trying to remove the turnbuckle pad.
Distracted the referee, but Armstrong should go for the cover. We're going to do U.S. Tag Team Champions, but landing in the ring and breaks up the count. And the Savant kick of his own takes down Armstrong.
Oh, what a kick, Mark. Nailed him right in the side of the head. Good grief.
And we are having technical difficulties. Our camera's frozen on the replay, but laying in the ring, he's not the legal man. He's working over Steve Armstrong.
And that referee better exercise some real, he better get on it here. You let the Midnight Express, of course, with Cornette at ringside, take the advantage. It could spell doom for the Southern boys.
And he's setting up, we saw this once before. It's another high-low, and down goes Armstrong.
Goodness. What a devastating maneuver, Mark.
Goes for the cover, even on top. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's over.
The Midnight Express have retained the U.S. Tag Team Championship in our opening contest here at the Great American Bash.
And you take a look back at some of the action that went down earlier on. Great double team maneuvers by the Southern boys. Both teams exercising, and look at this devastating maneuver. Bang!
Wow. High-low nails Steve Armstrong. And that was the first one. It was the second one that put him away.
Yes, it did. The first one didn't work, Mark, but the second one did. And still, your U.S. Tag Team Champions, Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan, the Midnight Express.
Well, fans, our next contest will be a #1 contenders match for the U.S. Tag Team, or the U.S. title, as Stan Hansen will take on Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this quick timeout. And welcome back to beautiful Baltimore, Maryland, the host of the last 3 Great American Bash shows. And of course, there he is, Stan Hansen, who returned to World Championship Wrestling just last month, made it known that he wanted to win the world title. The NWA Championship Committee said in order to even be considered for a world title match, he had to work his way up the rankings. So he has made it known he wants to win that U.S. title to put him in that top contender spot.
Well, what you have here is a mean, rough, tough hombre in Stan the Lariat Hansen, who, as you just mentioned, has come back recently, and he's looking for money and championships, but he's going to have a tough task here with arguably one of the greatest in the sport's history, Paul Orndorff.
Well, these two styles, a little bit of a clash, but don't get me wrong, while Stan Hansen, known for his brawling skills, Mr. Wonderful can match brawling punch for punch.
Well, we've seen matches with Paul Orndorff in the past go up against some of the greatest superstars in the history of the sport, and certainly he's going to have a tough task even ahead of him tonight with a mean customer like Stan Hansen. Stan Hansen, of course, a former world champion in his own right, as Mr. Wonderful makes his way to the ring, Mark. What do we got here?
What is Hansen doing? It looks like he has a lead pipe in his hand, and he's walking over. Orndorff doesn't see it. And Hansen, under the ring again, has a steel chair, Bill. And then,
man! What in the world brought this on?
The bell is not rung. This match is not official. And a chair in the head.
For the love of God, how was Orndorff even standing right now? What a vicious chair attack.
Throwing him into the ring post and a shoulder block from behind. The referee has to get some order here. And Hansen with it's a baseball bat, Bill.
What in the world is he doing? I don't understand this. I mean, if he wants to be in contention for a championship, does he really want to go about it like this? I think we know the answer to that.
Well, Hansen drops an elbow. This match might be over before it began.
Well, Orndorff didn't even get a chance to get his robe off, and Hansen attacked him. And I'll tell you what, once Hansen gets on the rampage, you can better believe Orndorff, he's going to be in for the fight of his life.
Hansen has Orndorff and slams him down to the mat.
Well, he knows he's firmly in the driver's seat right now. You can tell by the confidence there, throwing up the hook'em horns.
Hansen did not go for a cover there. It could have been over. I mean, he hit him with a steel chair, a baseball bat, an elbow drop.
Well, Mark, you've seen Paul Orndorff in many matches, as have I. And one thing we know about Paul Orndorff, you don't put that man away early, you might not get the opportunity later.
Now both men on the outside, they have to be careful of a double countout because...
Ooh, that'll leave a mark.
It will leave a couple. And Orndorff has Hansen... And he rams him, or he's going to ram him to the stairs, and Hansen blocked it, and a series of elbows to the midsection of Paul Orndorff.
These guys better watch it, too. They better get back in the ring.
And the referee having a little bit of leniency here. I don't hear a count, so the referee knows what's at stake here.
He's letting him go, Mark.
Yeah, he is, and we give him credit for that. Orndorff throws Hansen back in the ring, and a big kick. And a snapmare takeover, now Orndorff in control. Ooh. Oh, and a big punch. Orndorff in trouble. And a big football tackle takes Orndorff down.
He cut him a flip there. Orndorff's down. He's trying to fight his way back up, Mark.
That will be the legal hit in the NFL, but it's legal here in World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, that'll get you 15 yards on the gridiron, but you're right. It is legal here.
And now both men out on the floor again. The referee again has not begun to count, but Orndorff gets right head first into the ring post.
He's getting thrown pillar to post in this matchup.
Literally. And now Orndorff throws Hansen into the guardrail.
They're coming right into your living room here, Mark. Paul Orndorff coming back here, taking it to his much larger opponent.
And throws him face first down to the mat. That's only about an inch thick mat on the floor. And Hansen firing back.
Nope. Not a lot of padding at all, and it will certainly change your outlook on a lot of things.
What a
Hansen! Oh, my goodness.
Oh, a clothesline against the ring post. Orndorff's done. Hansen, all he has to do is throw him in the ring, and he'll win this match.
He's taking chair shots. He's taking shots with a baseball bat. He just got a lariat right into the post. How is this man even still standing?
And this is all for the opportunity to face the winner of Lex Luger and Mean Mark later tonight.
I don't know if there's going to be anything left to either one of these guys to face Luger or Mean Mark, whoever wins the U.S. title tonight.
And look at this, Paul Orndorff making a comeback, working the neck and the arms of Stan Hansen.
Well, it's a testament to Paul Orndorff to come back after all that punishment and went now with a submission hold on Stan the Lariat Hansen.
He needed to slow down the pace of this match as Stan Hansen was taking it to him in another football tackle.
Hansen should get on him here. He's going to the ropes.
Ooh. A beautiful elbow drop by Stan Hansen. Goes for the cover. That has to be at one. And the kick out at one by Orndorff.
It's a testament to the fighting will of Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff to kick out only after a 1 count.
I think a lesser man would have been pinned there, Bill.
No question about it. Oh, Orndorff hard into the corner.
What was that by Hansen going to the second turnbuckle? Goes for the cover again. On top of Orndorff. 1, 2. And Orndorff gets out.
Yeah, he barely got the shoulder up off the canvas. Hansen can't believe it. Heck, I can't believe it, Mark.
Now Hansen going over the turnbuckle, taking off that top turnbuckle. It's exposed. And that is a steel ring, folks.
Ooh. Straight right hand right to the face.
It throws Orndorff chest first into the exposed turnbuckle, and down goes Orndorff. Oh, a second time chest first.
Oh, man, he does it again.
But Orndorff fighting back, throws Hansen into the turnbuckle. A kick blocked by Hansen. And an elbow blocked by Orndorff. They're exchanging blows here. The drop two hold onto the ropes goes Hansen. And Orndorff using the top rope to his advantage. Nicely done.
Well, there's a clothesline of a different sort right there.
Orndorff throws Hansen into the turnbuckle. Has Hansen and rams his head into the top turnbuckle.
And this crowd in Baltimore counting along with him.
10 times and down goes Hansen. Orndorff now staying on top. And it's his turn. Hansen meets the steel. And Orndorff now picking up Hansen. Going for a slam blocked by Hansen. And another football tackle.
It's been his most effective weapon so far. Down for the cover, Mark.
1, 2, and the kick out of 2 by Orndorff.
I honestly don't know how he got out of that. All the punishment this man has taken and still putting up a fight against Hansen. Unbelievable. What mental toughness.
Hansen now throws Orndorff into the ropes. Blocked by Orndorff in a big right hand. And now Orndorff setting up Hansen. Rams him face first into the exposed turnbuckle.
The big man from Borger meeting his doom with his head right to that exposed turnbuckle. And Orndorff's taking it right to him, Mark.
Now Orndorff goes for the cover. He's on top 1. And the kick out at 1 by Hansen this time.
Boy, they have beaten each other senseless in this confrontation.
Into the turnbuckle, face first. Hansen being turned around by Orndorff. What's he have in store here?
Well, he goes to the knee that time, Mark.
These two men, and a beautiful suplex, over the head suplex by Hansen, takes Orndorff down.
Cut him a flip, and now Hansen, he throws some soup bone right hands. Oh!
A big leg by Orndorff. These men are killing each other here.
Yes, they are.
And let's not forget that pad is not very thick. They're throwing full velocity into those turnbuckle pads.
What strength by Orndorff. Hansen's over 300 pounds.
And not 1 but 2 backbreakers takes down Hansen. Orndorff in control. Could he be setting him up for a power driver, Bill?
We might see it here. Here it comes.
Orndorff has him up and spikes him down with a power driver. Hansen's going to be pinned. Orndorff goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and 3. No! Hansen gets out.
I don't believe it.
And I don't think the fans here in Baltimore believe it either.
I cannot believe it. I'm speechless. How many men have ever kicked out of the pile driver, Mark?
Not only that, but how many men are in control afterwards? Hansen's a beast.
Well, he's got the championship on his mind, and he's going to do anything to get that shot.
These two, a splash in the corner, and down goes Orndorff. A back and forth contest. The winner faces the U.S. champion DDT.
Oh, he spiked him down with a DDT. Mark, Orndorff's not moving. He's not moving.
Goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out by Orndorff.
Unbelievable mental toughness. I can't believe it. We've seen a pile driver. We've seen a spiked DDT. And neither man willing to give an inch. Neither man willing to stay down in this one.
And now both men on the outside again. And Hansen throwing Orndorff up the entrance aisle.
Well, they're going the wrong way, Mark. If they want a title shot, they better get back in the ring.
And again, the referee being very lenient. He has not begun to count. He's letting these two men fight it out. But Hansen throws Orndorff further up the ramp, closer to the curtain.
Where are they going, Mark?
They're brawling all over the Baltimore arena here.
They're up on the stage now. Ooh.
And the referee has no other choice. He has begun to count now. They're battling all over the stage. Hansen throws Orndorff into the stage.
This isn't going to be good for either one of them. They get counted out. There will be no title shot.
Absolutely. The back body drop on the Hansen just having his way with Orndorff up in the ring. The referee's counting's up to 4, 5.
Oh man, this thing has gone on so long. They've beaten each other senseless in this battle.
And that Orndorff fighting back. He has to get back in the ring or he's going to lose this match.
Oh!
Spikes Hansen down face first. Referee's counts up to 8, Bill.
Mike, I think that busted him open too. What is he going to do now? Is he going to? Oh man!
Hansen, that's Orndorff. That's it. The referee's called for the bell, and Hansen throws Orndorff off the stage.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Hansen and Orndorff. This match is over. It's ended in a double countout. But I don't think either man know they're still going at it on the floor.
No, they don't. They don't care. They're just trying to mangle each other here. They are not stopping. They don't care. They just want to hurt each other. Hansen is a wild man out there, Mark.
We have to get some order here. This match is over. Hansen looks like he's going to go back to the dressing room. Orndorff getting back to his feet.
I don't know how any of these men are still standing right now. He just took a flip off of that stage, which is roughly 8 feet off the floor, and he took a flip on the floor. Unbelievable.
Bill, I don't know what we just saw there between Stan Hansen and Paul Orndorff. I'm sure the NWA Championship Committee will have some kind of ruling with the winner supposed to get a future U.S. title match, and both men got counted out.
Well, as we saw there, Mark, nothing was solved. They beat each other senseless. They ended up in the back of the Baltimore Arena. We saw Paul Orndorff get thrown off the stage and got up. I don't believe what I just saw either, but you can better believe it's not the end of Stan Hansen and Paul Orndorff. You can believe that.
Well, I can't believe what we're about to witness here, and that is that man right there, the North American debut of Big Van Vader in a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Big Van Vader making his mark in World Championship Wrestling.
Well, he comes with a big reputation, a lot of credentials. He spent a lot of time over in Japan, as you just mentioned. And I understand that headdress is a samurai warrior headdress.
It's intimidating is what it is.
Yes, it is. What's he doing here? What is he doing?
Some kind of a ritual or
some ceremony or something?
Some ceremony here. And oh, look at that! Smoke from the mask and the fans here in Baltimore.
Well, if the size of this guy doesn't intimidate the Z-Man enough to see that big old mask do that on the floor, I don't know. I think I might cut and run, brother.
Z-Man on the outside, I would have to imagine he's going to have to use his speed and agility if he has any chance in this matchup.
You're right, Mark.
He's a former U.S. Tag Team Champion, so the Z-Man has his work cut out for him. And a big clothesline by Vader takes down the Z-Man.
To start it off. That's definitely not the way to start it off right there. You got a guy that's just about 400 pounds. Z-Man, as you said, is going to have to use his speed, agility, and quickness. Oh my goodness.
Devastating. I don't even know what that move is called. It was like a backflip power bomb or something, but Vader thrown around Z-Man like he weighs 50 pounds.
He's thrown around like yesterday's garbage. I'm telling you, he's just manhandling the Z-Man. As you mentioned, former co-holder of the U.S. Tag Team Championships with Brian Pillman, who we will be seeing a little bit later on in the show, Mark. But Z-Man better get off the schneid and get some offense in, because this big man is just absolutely hammering him.
Oh, Vader misses with a drop kick. That gives Z-Man a chance, or so I thought. A big headbutt by Vader takes Z-Man down.
This man is absolutely a monster. You talk about a man monster. Oh!
Look at the fans, Bill. They're all stunned. They don't know what to think of this big man.
I don't know what to think of him. We're seeing him for the first time, his North American debut. And my goodness, between the size of him, the headset that he came in with, I can't imagine even what the Z-Man's feeling right now, other than pain.
Vader has him up in a choke slam. Down to the mat goes the Z-Man. He does not go for the cover, Bill.
No, what a devastating athlete. What a devastating... What are we going to see here?
This might be it right here. It looks like a big power bomb slam down to the mat.
Oh, he's not moving.
Cover. 1, 2, 3. And big victory for Big Van Vader here at the Great American Bash.
Unbelievable. What a debut for this man monster known as Big Van Vader. Look at this, Mark. He picks him up with a choke slam that just about drove him right through the mat. And look at this, the power bomb. And unfortunately for the Z-Man, that was all. The referee tolls the count. 1, 2, 3. A successful North American debut for Big Van Vader, Mark.
And I am being told in the headset our cameras are backstage, Bill. Something's going on backstage, and we're going to send it to the back.
Oh, my God. What could it possibly be?
It's Hansen and Orndorff.
What in the world? They're still going at it.
Orndorff and Hansen going at it in the back locker room, dressing room, the arena.
Oh, this is going to get ugly back here. They're not in a ring anymore. They were on the stage. Now they're in the back.
We got to get some help out here. I mean, there's no officials around to break this up.
No, this is just a free-for-all. We got to get some help back here. We got to get this broken up before somebody gets seriously hurt. I know they're hungry about getting titles, but this is crazy. This isn't sports anymore. This is just an all-out brawl.
And Orndorff now kicked to the midsection by Hansen. Another football tackle takes Orndorff down on the concrete floor.
I'll tell you, they need to get some help back there. This is going to get ugly really quick.
Who wants to break up these two men?
Somebody's going to get serious. Oh, good point. But somebody's going to get seriously hurt here.
Oh, wow, fans. I don't know what to tell you there, Ed.
Wow.
Whew. Following contest will be for the World Television title. Just 2 weeks ago, Flyin Brian Pillman won the TV title from Arn Anderson, and the Nature Boy Buddy Landel issued his first challenge. And there he is, Nature Boy Buddy Landel making his way to the ring.
Buddy Landel also comes in with a lot of credentials, too. He's a former national heavyweight champion. Held regional titles all over the country, but in his return to World Championship Wrestling, what does he get? A World Television Championship match against the new champion, Flyin Brian. This should be a good one.
And Brian Pillman wants to be a fighting champion. He did not have to defend the World TV title tonight. This match was signed prior to Pillman winning the TV title, but Brian Pillman, being the fighting champion he is, insisted that this match be for his newly won TV championship.
Flyin Brian, of course, a member of the Cincinnati Bengals. He was on the Suicide Squad on the Bengals. He was the Eplock Courage Award winner. You talk about a guy who's a fighting champion, as you just mentioned. Naturally, Flyin Brian would want to defend the title to prove that he's worthy of being the World Television Champion.
And the fans here in Baltimore showing their love to Flyin Brian.
You see, he's even supporting the colors of his former football team, the Cincinnati Bengals. There's Bengal trunks.
And again, this matchup, these two men have different styles. Flyin Brian he can wrestle technically, he can wrestle high flying, and Buddy Landel can ground and pound.
Both of these guys are just about similar height and weight. Both of these guys have credentials coming in, and we've seen Flyin Brian face guys 100 pounds larger than him and come out the winner. So this one is definitely going to be one of the highlights of the evening as far as I'm concerned. I've been looking forward to this one.
As the introduction is being made by our ring announcer. And Brian Pillman, that's a look of determination right there. He is not taking Buddy Landel lightly, nor should he.
No, and no matter whatever title he's held, of course, we've already mentioned he's been one half of the United States Tag Team Champions. He's never underestimated any opponent, large or small, but he definitely has the fighting spirit here, but he's going to have a tough task ahead of him here with the Nature Boy, Buddy Landel. Always a look of intensity on that man's face.
The referee showing Buddy Landel what could be his if he's able to defeat Brian Pillman by pinfall or submission here tonight.
Well, there's the prize they're fighting for right there.
And there's the bell, away we go, and the collar and elbow tie-up. Now Pillman working the arm of Buddy Landel. Landel with a reversal. Nicely done. Pillman reverses it, armbar of his own. Landel trying to escape, cannot. Pillman shoves him away.
I think we're going to see here early in this TV title match, you're going to see a lot of feeling out, a lot of, let's just see what kind of strength you have. Let's just see who can out-wrestle who here. Just sort of feeling each other out in the early going.
And Pillman takes down Landel again. And again, shoves Landel down, and Pillman with a little bit of cockiness and walks right into a bulldog by Buddy Landel.
Don't turn your head on Buddy Landel. He'll make you pay for it. He is the veteran.
Pillman now in trouble, but gets up with a front face lock and a knee to the head, stuns Buddy Landel.
That'll rock him.
Pillman going for a slam, reversal by Landel, walks right into a fist. And Landel throws Pillman into the turnbuckle, charges, and is caught with an elbow of his own. And Pillman clotheslines Landel into the corner, drop kick into the corner, and down goes Buddy Landel.
Boy, he'll drop kick you on the mat. He'll drop kick you. He'll jump up 6 feet in the air and put both feet in your face. He'll drop kick you from anywhere, man.
Now Pillman going up top. He's looking to end this match early, Bill. He leaps and nails a splash over the top. Goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Buddy Landel.
Got to give it to the Nature Boy. He took that splash off the top rope from Pillman, and he got up. Got to give him credit where it's due.
And now Pillman staying on top of Landel with an elbow drop. But Landel, and slams the face of Pillman into the head of Landel.
He's got to be out of right now. He might not know where he is after that bump.
And down goes Pillman. Now Landel slowing down the pace, working the arm of Brian Pillman.
Well, this is the Landel's pace right here. He's very methodical. Oh, we got a cover here.
And a kick out at 1 by Pillman.
He's very methodical. Buddy Landel, like I said, he's the veteran. So if he wants any chance of winning this title from Pillman, he better control the pace. Because if Pillman's allowed to really go with those high-flying maneuvers, Pillman just might walk away with the title. He's going to the top, Mark.
He's up and top again, and Buddy Landel getting back to his feet, leaps and misses a crossbody. Landel had that well scouted as Pillman tried to put the match away with a crossbody up the top rope.
Side Russian leg sweep there by Nature Boy Buddy Landel.
Snapmare takeover, and Pillman's in trouble. He missed that crossbody, and Landel capitalizing on it right now. Slowing down the pace again. Has that rear chin lock, and Pillman escaping that maneuver right there.
That'll get him out of it, no question about it.
Pillman wildly missing a drop kick. I think he may be a little stunned as well.
He took those 2 shots right to the chin on the head. Double arm suplex, well executed.
And now Landel working the leg of Brian Pillman.
Well, as we well know, much like Nature Boy Ric Flair, Buddy Landel likes to fashion himself after Ric Flair, including this knee drop right to the face.
Goes for the cover. Could we have a new TV champion? Referee was out of position. 1, 2, and 3. Now a kick out by Pillman.
I thought that was it right there, Mark. I thought we had a new TV champion right there.
Landel, having words with the referee, picks up Pillman. And again was going to go for the leg, and a crossbody missed by Pillman. And another bulldog by Landel takes down Flyin Brian Pillman.
Well, if Buddy Landel's smart, he better get on Pillman while he has a chance, because if you let Pillman rebound, that's where Pillman is most dangerous.
And a series of knees to the back of the head, ramming the third one for good measure. Pillman fighting back, I don't know how, after the 3 knees to the back of the head.
A lot of counter wrestling here, and as now Pillman been back up to that vertical base there. Oh, over the top.
Pillman following Landel out to the floor. Pillman throwing Landel hard into the ring. And now is choking Landel. Had a count of 5 to break that. And Pillman climbing the top rope again, Bill.
Going to his favorite perch up on that top rope.
He leaps with another splash. Hooks the leg. This has to be it. 1. And a kick out of 1, Bill.
Unbelievable. I thought that was it. I'm sure that Brian Pillman thought that was it.
Now Pillman going to the outside. Landel, I think, had that scouted and pulls Pillman down on the edge of the ring.
I think he did too. I thought he had that move scouted. It looked like maybe he was going for Air Pillman, and Landel knew better. Oh, what a chop.
And now both men on the outside floor, and Landel working the leg of Pillman again.
Got to think he might try to soften Pillman. Oh, Pillman with a DDT on the floor.
On the floor. Pillman throwing Landel back into the ring. It might be over if he can just get the pinfall. 7. Pillman setting him up for air. Pillman, it looks like. 8. Pillman's he had to get back in the ring, Bill. He was going to be counted out. Oh! Beautiful maneuver. Takes down Buddy Landel. And now Pillman again on the outside.
Might we see it, Mark? He might be setting up for it.
Landel getting back. No, Pillman gets back into the ring. And now Landel sweeps the leg.
Oh,
and
here comes.
Drops down the leg. I thought he was going to go for that figure 4.
As did I, but he's weakening the leg now. He's now taking one of Brian Pillman's strengths away from him. He take the legs out. You can forget about Air Pillman.
Ooh, but that's twice now that Landel had that move scouted by Brian Pillman. So Landel came to the smash prepared.
Oh, no question about it. You can say what you want. He's got an outgoing, gregarious personality. Oh, high cross body.
And now Pillman again climbing the top rope. What's he have in mind here?
Well, we've seen him do it before. Make the third time be the charm.
Landel back to his feet. Crossbody off the top. Hooks the leg. Referee counts 1, 2, and 3.
It's over.
Brian Pillman retains the World TV title with that crossbody off the top rope.
And what a match that was for the World Television Championship. We'll take a look at some of the action that went down earlier on. We thought this might be it here with that splash off the top rope, but no, it was not to be. Buddy Landel got his strikes in too. He got some maneuvers in, but the veteran, he did all he could. You see a near fall there. But in the end, it was Flyin Brian as we take a look back at a very devastating knee drop to the forehead of Flyin Brian. And, well, this, quite frankly, was not it right here. And it was not that far away from a win. And there's another splash by Flyin Brian.
Landel had this match well scouted. He had Air Pillman scouted not once but twice.
And there it was. The high cross body.
He did not have the crossbody well scouted, Bill. He fell victim to the crossbody up the top rope.
Yes, he did. And there's your winner right there, Mark. And still, World Television Champion, Flyin Brian.
And Bill, you're not going to believe this, but again, I'm being told in my headset, I think Orndorff and Hansen are still going at it backstage. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, no. I can't believe nobody has put a stop to this yet.
Oh, my God. To the top of the head. How are these men standing?
I don't know how they made it from the ring to the back. After the beating they gave each other in the ring, and still, nobody has come to break these two up yet. But like you said, who's even going to try? Ooh, into the locker.
And now Hansen eyeing that, it looks like a Halliburton briefcase, and slams it down on Orndorff.
Good grief.
Oh, across the face.
Oh, my God. Oh, and he does it again.
And Skyscrapers are in action next against Dr. Death and his mystery partner. Don't go away. Bill, I don't know what to do or say about the situation brewing between Paul Orndorff and Stan Hansen, but things are getting out of control.
Things are getting out of control, and I got to say, somebody's got to put a stop to it, or they're going to tear this arena down. And speaking of tearing the house down, here comes one of the biggest, if not one of the baddest tag teams in all the landmark. We're talking about Dangerous Dan Spivey and Big Sid Vicious, the Skyscrapers. What an imposing duo these two are.
They are, and they reunited back at the May Capital Combat pay-per-view. Sid Vicious made his return from injury and beat down Dr. Death Steve Williams. And Dr. Death went back to Japan for 2 months and said he has himself a tag team partner that will help him take the Skyscrapers down.
Well, you can better believe that if Dr. Death Steve Williams is coming back looking for some retribution, you know he's really going to dig deep into the well, and really not so far, because I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of allies out there. And to combat this team, well, he's going to have to really pull an ace card here to battle these two behemoths.
And there they are, Sid Vicious and Dan Spivey, the Skyscrapers. As Dr. Death Steve Williams will be making his way to the ring, we will find out who his mystery tag team partner is. And what a night of action it's been so far. We thank you for joining us here on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel.
Well, the anticipation is building here in the Baltimore arena as you see the Skyscrapers waiting on the good doctor to come to the ring here.
And the fans are on their feet, and they are waiting in anticipation as well. And there's Dr. Death on his own. Bill, you don't think he's going to do this match alone?
Well, if I know Dr. Death Steve Williams, you got to think he's coming in here with a game plan. And I'm just looking at the way that this man is walking to the ring. He's not walking like a man that looks concerned. He's walking with a purpose, and I might add also with a lot of confidence. So he knows something that we don't know. He certainly knows something the Skywalkers don't know. But we're all fixing to find out really quick exactly what Dr. Death Steve Williams has in mind as he regales to the crowd here in Baltimore. They love him here, but Mark, I can't wait to see who he brings out. I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh, we are. We've been waiting 2 months to see this, and let's head down to the ringside for the introduction. I don't even think Gary Michael Capetta knows who it is. Who is that? Is
that who I think it is?
That's Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
Freebird Terry Bam Bam Gordy has returned to the NWA World Championship Wrestling. Dr. Death found a former enemy, but now apparently, Mark, he's an ally of Dr. Death.
You're right about enemy. Last year it was here in Baltimore at the Great American Bash 89 when Dr. Death and Terry Gordy were on opposing teams in War Games.
They have been at each other's throats before, but now Dr. Death, apparently a common enemy, has brought together a common bond in Terry Bam Bam Gordy. This is going to be an explosion with these two teams. Good grief, what a surprise.
And this will be Texas Tornado Rules. We're going to do our best to call the action as, Gordy takes down Spivey and Doc takes down Sid.
Well, they're off and running now. Again, this is a Texas Tornado tag, fans. No tagging in this one. All four men in the ring at the same time, and I feel bad for that little referee. He's going to have a tough task ahead of him dealing with these four monsters.
Absolutely. Gordy taking down Spivey again. And Dr. Death working over Sid Vicious. And Sid Vicious with a short arm clothesline had little to no effect on Dr. Death Steve Williams.
All four of these men with incredible strength. We all know the strength of Dr. Death Steve Williams, Big Sid Vicious. And speaking of strength, look at Gordy.
Oh, wow. That was a suplex cutter by Terry Gordy. As Doc has Sid up. Could it be a superplex?
Oh, man.
He has him, and the whole ring shakes down, goes Sid.
And those two come crashing down in the middle of the ring, and Gordy with Spivey over in the corner.
Ramming his head, counted 10 times, and down goes Spivey.
This crowd loves it, Mark. This crowd is absolutely going bonkers here.
And a Russian leg sweep by Sid on Doc. Gordy and a clothesline from behind. Gordy leaps and takes down Sid.
Who knew Terry Gordy could fly that far? What a clothesline.
Oh, man, this is intense right here. Oh, and the sleeper hold broken up belly to belly by Doc on Spivey. A takedown, and Gordy only gets a count of one before Sid makes it to the ropes. Yeah. And now Gordy throwing Sid out to the floor.
This just hit hard on the floor that time. And you got to think, wait, we got a pinfall here, maybe.
Doc don't cover one, and count of one, and Spivey kicks out. Now, the referee will be focusing on the action in the ring. That's where the pinfall or submission can take place. But keep your eyes on Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Sid Vicious on the outside. A big chop by Gordy.
Referee's going to have a hard time with this one, we've already said. But when you got two on the outside and two in the ring, but like you said, whatever happens, whether it's a decision of a pinfall or submission, it's got to be in the ring. In Texas, look at Vicious on the outside.
The strength of Sid Vicious, gorilla press slamming, almost 300 pounds of Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
What a clothesline.
And a football tackle in the ring. Doc takes down Spivey, drags Spivey to the center of the ring. I think he's going to go for a cover. He does. Referee counts 1, 2, and broken up by Sid.
Big Sid Vicious in there for the save that time. We almost had an end of the match right there. As now all four men back in the ring.
And a big chop by Gordy takes down Spivey. He goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Spivey.
Look at Vicious.
An airplane spin by Sid Vicious.
What a slam. It looked like an airplane spin into a modified power bomb there.
And now Doc bringing in Sid unceremoniously back into the ring. Gordy working over. Oh, and a big boot. Takes down Spivey.
But seriously, Mark, for 4 big men in the ring going at it without any tags, just fist and fire here, I don't know how long these 4 can hold out at this pace.
I agree, and a belly-to-belly suplex takes down Sid. Doc goes for the cover. The referee counts 1 and broken up by Spivey.
That was another close one right there. Almost a victory for Gordy and Williams. Wow, this is wild. This is a wild affair here at the Great American Bash.
Absolutely, a clothesline from behind. The fans are on their feet, Bill. They cannot get enough of this. Oh, and a Samoan drop by Gordy takes down Spivey.
Doc looks like he's trying to unscrew Sid Vicious's head over there.
And a drop kick. Terry Gordy got height on that drop kick, took down Spivey, and now it's a double team maneuver. Doc going for the cover. The referee was out of position. Counts 1, 2, and a kick out by Sid.
That was so close. Sid just barely got out of that one.
Now Sid with a side slam, a backbreaker on Gordy, as Doc misses a drop kick, but Spivey does not miss a clothesline.
You know, we talk about the strength of Gordy and Williams. What about the strength of Sid Vicious? Gordy is just a little over 300 pounds, and Vicious was manhandling him on the outside and on the inside of the ring.
Absolutely. And now Gordy has Sid, and a big boot missed. And Sid now, with a Russian leg sweep, takes down Gordy. And a big clothesline by Spivey on Doc.
As I mentioned, I don't know how much longer they can hold out. Oh, there's a Uranagi right there. What an awesome move very quickly. Gordy takes down Vicious. Chokeslam by Spivey. What's going to happen here?
Oh, man. A belly-to-belly by Gordy. I can hardly keep up with the action. Spivey going to work. A power bomb on Dr. Death coming up. Has him up and down. And Gordy with a power bomb on Sid. Spivey goes for the cover. Gordy goes for the cover. 3. Wait. We had a double pin there, Bill.
What do we have here? So who won the match?
We're going to the replay. I'm not sure, but Spivey was pinning Dr. Death, and Terry Gordy was pinning Sid.
I don't know. I don't know what this. I don't know who won this match. We got to find out who won this match. Do we have a decision?
I am being told that this is a no contest. The referee counted both pinfalls, and this match will end in a no contest. Back to live action. Doc and Gordy working over Dan Spivey.
So it's a no contest on 2 devastating power bombs delivered right there in the middle of the ring. But it's Doc and Gordy ruling the roost.
And the fans are screaming and cheering, and Doc and Gordy standing tall. Although this match ends in a no contest.
You can better believe, Mark, we will not. I don't think we've heard the end of this one. This certainly is not over between these 2 teams. What a surprise with Gordy coming back.
And speaking of not over, I am being told on my headset that there's even more action in the back between Stan Hansen and Paul Orndorff, Bill.
You gotta be kidding me.
They're in catering, Bill.
Oh my goodness, they've gone back to catering now, and they're still going at it. This is insane.
This pay-per-view is over an hour long. They wrestled the second match of the evening, and they're still going at it here.
And much to my surprise, and maybe not, nobody's gone back there to try to separate these 2 maniacs.
And this is all just for an opportunity at the U.S. title, Bill.
Well, it just goes to show you what that title means to both of these men, but you got 2 of the toughest ever to lace boots, and they are just going at it in the catering area. And what a clothesline by Hansen.
Wow, taking down Orndorff. That's concrete floor, folks. There ain't no give on that concrete floor. Orndorff going into a soda machine.
This can't possibly end well for either one of these men, especially in this kind of environment. Look out! Oh, slam on the concrete!
Slam on the concrete floor!
like I said, I don't know how this could end well for either one of these men. If any of these guys want a title shot in the future against the U.S. champion, whoever that may be, this has got to get cleared out sooner or later. They're really gonna hurt each other significantly here.
Orndorff throwing Hansen into the table.
I mean, we got to get some help back here. This is mayhem with these two.
Absolutely. Wow.
Wow. That's all you can say is wow.
And Tully, Blanchard, and Arn Anderson already in the ring. They are waiting the arrival of those men right there, Rick and Scott Steiner. And Bill, this tag team match has lots of implications for the World Tag Team title scene here in World Championship Wrestling.
Absolutely. You got to figure either one of these teams will be in a prime spot to challenge for the World Tag Team Championship, whomever the champions may be after tonight. But I've been looking forward to this one. Two very accomplished tag teams in professional wrestling, especially in the NWA.
You have the experience of Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, former World Tag Team Champions in their own right. The youth and experience of Scott Steiner, of course, Rick Owen, an overhead suplex to start the match. Rick Steiner, a former TV champion and tag team champion in his own right, so a lot of experience. It looks like Scott is the young gun in this match.
Well, they didn't wait long to get started in this one as Double A, the enforcer, Arn Anderson, in there with Scott Steiner. You know, on one side of the ring, you have the consummate unit, and Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, as you mentioned, former World Tag Team Champions. But they bring a lot of experience to the ring, and I would say if there was a deciding factor between these two teams as the tag is made, it's got to be the experience factor with Anderson and Blanchard. Absolutely.
But one of the hottest teams in the World Championship Wrestling now is the Steiner. So, as you said it before, the immovable force meets the, what was it?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I choked on my own words there, Bill, as Scott takes over on Tully, throws him into his turnbuckle. Will we see a tag? And we do.
Well, Mark, with all we've seen here tonight at the Great American Bash, I can't imagine why you'd be tongue-twisted. We have just seen action from the opening bell tonight.
It has been a hot crowd here in Baltimore, and of course those watching on the YouTube channel, we thank you, as Blanchard takes down Rick Steiner. And the momentum has changed in this match in the early going multiple times already.
It's going to be interesting to see the pacing in this match, too. Anderson and Blanchard have been known to cut the ring off diagonally across the ring, keeping their opponents in their half of the ring. We will need to see if they can keep doing it as this match progresses.
And one other thing, Bill, we need to mention that Ole Anderson in the corner of the Horsemen tonight, he has been known to, how shall we say, interfere on his team's behalf.
Oh, there's no question about it. He's very unscrupulous these days in his latter years, and now that for the most part, his ring career is over, he's taken sort of over the managerial duties of the Horsemen, but he will get involved, you got to believe, at some point, as he's been prone to do. But now Arn Anderson trying to figure a way out of it.
And he does. He gets out with a fist. And now these men, as Anderson throws Rick Steiner into his corner, and he said, cut off the ring. Keep it. Ooh, and Rick, with a reversal, throws Anderson in his corner, but walks right into an elbow.
No substitution for experience. Blanchard and Anderson certainly have that working in their favor.
And there's a tag. Here comes Tully. And Tully now going to work with an elbow on the top of the head to Rick Steiner. Into the ropes goes Steiner. But Rick catches Tully with a kick to the midsection. And an overhead belly-to-back suplex by Rick Steiner takes down Tully.
Boy, that'll knock the wind out of you. Right on the back of the neck, too.
Rick dragging Tully to his corner makes a tag. So both teams making frequent tags in the early going here.
Classic tag team strategy, keeping the fresh man in the ring, and Scotty's sort of showing some inexperience here. Yes, he's showing his strength there, but obviously those push-ups will not take you to the pay window, so to speak. He's got to get on Blanchard and look to get him either in a pinning predicament or a submission and look to move on in this match. You got to think, you mentioned implications of tag team titles. They need to take it seriously, because if they don't, Blanchard and Anderson could potentially walk right through him here.
And again, it's the inexperience of Scott Steiner. You did not see that action from Rick earlier in the contest. But I think that Scott's just pumped up. Maybe the adrenaline having something to do with it, but he's stomping away on Tully Blanchard nonetheless.
And also, you got to figure, too, they want those belts back in the worst way. Oh, look at this. Double arm suplex.
Beautiful done by Scott Steiner.
Into a power bomb. What a devastating maneuver that was.
Throws Tully into the corner. Oh, but Tully, using his head as a weapon, and throws Scott into his corner now. What a turn of events there. A running knee in the corner, and Scott Steiner's in trouble.
Well, that's the veteran Tully Blanchard. Just when you think you got him, he's going to get you. And it just proof positive right there is maybe now we'll see a fresh tag. And there you go.
And here goes. As Rick climbs the second turnbuckle, Scott holds the arm and down across the arm is Rick Steiner.
As I mentioned, the Steiner brothers, if they want to get back in title contention and they want to have any chance of getting those belts back, they're going to have to get through Blanchard and Anderson in order to do it.
A drop kick by Arn, a big right hand, and a knee to the stomach, and Rick Steiner rolls to the outside. And keep your eye on Ole Anderson. Ole was going for him. Another drop kick by Arn takes down Rick Steiner.
Mark that one down on your book. Arn Anderson throwing a drop kick, but when you figure the implications that are on the line, you're going to pull out all the stops, and there's another one.
Oh, but Rick with a beautiful suplex slam, down goes Arn Anderson, and Rick showing the crowd here in Baltimore that he's fired up as well. And a Steiner line by Rick takes down Arn. Arn going for a kick, blocked. Rick sweeps the leg.
Barking at the crowd here in Baltimore. He better get on Arn. Keep the momentum going.
And a big leaping Steiner line takes down, and there's Ole on the apron, as we said, and the momentum changed as Arn Anderson nails a bulldog from behind.
There's the great equalizer, that extra man at ringside. He didn't get physically involved, but he did get involved. What are we going to see here? Maybe a gourd buster? Yes!
Oh, and down goes Rick Steiner. That usually is the precursor to the spine buster, but Rick Steiner had it well scouted, and back body drops Arn Anderson.
The momentum's going back and forth in this one quite a bit, Mark.
Rick has Arn in the corner, makes a tag. Here comes Scott, and he's going up top.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Here comes the Bulldog from the top. Scott nails Anderson, and this match is over. Scott goes for the cover, but wait. Ole having words with the referee.
Ole Anderson's got the attention of the referee, but nobody was there to count.
This match should be over.
Got that right.
And that just gave Arn the time to get back in. He was pinned, Bill.
He was calling. It had to be over at that point.
And Ole Anderson interfering on behalf has given new life to the Four Horsemen. The knee in the corner, and Scott is in trouble.
Just as we said at the start of this match, you better keep your eyes on Ole Anderson, because if you don't, well, we saw what happened when Ole Anderson got the attention of the referee. Arn's setting for something here.
It could be that spine buster, and it is! Down goes Scott! This match could be over, but Arn does not go for the cover.
No, he's not.
Oh, now he does. The referee counts 1, 2, and broken up by Rick. Just in time, Rick gets in the ring.
Knee to the back of Rick Steiner.
And he rolls out of the ring. Rick looks hurt.
Arn Anderson says that's it. It might well be. I don't know what he's got setting up for him here, but what is this? Well, you talk about getting twisted and turned here. Good grief.
Oh, and he uses Scott Steiner's own weight to his advantage, but Scott powers out of it by slamming Anderson down.
Well, there's some tremendous mental toughness there. And again, there's the mistake by Scott Steiner. He should get on him. He should not take time to pose here. He needs to get on Arn Anderson.
And a big Steiner line. Scott ducks. And a back body drop by Scott Steiner. Arn Anderson in trouble. Has him and delivers a spine buster of his own to Arn Anderson.
And again, he probably shouldn't he should have gotten right down on top of him for the cover there. Double arm suplex into a power bomb.
Power bomb, and down goes Anderson. Scott rolls over Arn, goes for the cover. This has to be it. 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Arn. I don't know how he did it.
I thought that was the end of the match right there, Mark.
Anderson from behind with an atomic drop, and down goes Scott. Anderson now back in control.
He's going to Work on the arm again, Mark. Ooh!
Drops a knee, and Scott Steiner's in trouble. He needs to make a tag. Anderson throws Scott into the turnbuckle, runs, charges, misses a knee! There's the chance that Scott has! He needs to make a tag, but a reversal!
I was going to say that might have been the opening that Scott Steiner needed, but now he finds himself in the corner. Arn Anderson throws him down, second turnbuckle on the inside.
Oh, and drops a fist across the forehead. Scott trying to get up, trying to make a tag. The fans in Baltimore cheering him on. Anderson setting him up. Could it be another spinebuster, Bill?
Might well be.
Oh, and a DDT! Countered by Scott Steiner. Now Scott picks up Arn. Throws him into the ropes. Up and over goes Arn.
He's figuring something here. He's got to do something. He's got to get Anderson down. And he just did with that suplex.
And again, he should have gone for the tag, and he didn't. This could come back and bite Scott Steiner. As Rick is the fresh man. Into the ropes goes Anderson. And a stalemate between these two. A big right hand by Scott. Throws Anderson reversal. Into the ropes goes Scott. Walks right into a spine buster.
Oh.
And down goes Scott.
That's
Anderson goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and 3.
It is over. The Horsemen prevail over the Steiners. I can't believe it.
What a back and forth match this was, Bill, between these two great teams.
And you know, you got to think back into the middle of the match when after that devastating off the top rope bulldog, it should have been over right then and there, but due to Ole Anderson's interference, and here's where it was, it should have been over right after that, Mark, but it wasn't to be on this particular night.
This match could have gone either way, but Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson walk out of this match the victors. And will Ric Flair have such luck later tonight when he challenges Sting for the world title?
Here they are, the victorious Horsemen.
Fans, we are being... Wait a second, you've got to be kidding me.
Don't even tell me.
Oh, Hansen and Orndorff.
They have found themselves outside the Baltimore arena in the parking area.
Bill, is that your rental car there?
I think so. Hopefully, well, yeah, I got insurance on it. Please don't damage my car too bad.
Into the door goes Stan Hansen. Orndorff opening the door. He's going to slam.
Oh, no. Knew I forgot to lock that door.
Good grief, Stan Hansen. Orndorff climbing the top of your rental car, Bill. He's going to leap and misses. He missed Stan Hansen.
I feel bad for his knees. This can't be good for the career of either one of these two. What kind of shape are they going to be in after this?
Oh, an elbow drop on the concrete floor.
I mean, the way they're going right now, they might be taking an ambulance ride somewhere at this point, Mark. Good Lord.
Oh, my.
Ugh. What have we seen here tonight? And we're not even... Wow. And there's so much more to come.
Right, the U.S. title match is next. I mean, the last 3 matches are all for the NWA World Championship, the U.S. title, and the Tag Team Championship. And that man right there, Mean Mark Callis, has all the momentum heading into this match. He left Lex Luger laying last week, Bill.
Yes, he did with that devastating hard punch. And, you know, you talk about a guy who's a blue chipper. I got to think that this big man right here out of Houston, Texas, all 6'9", 318 of them, you talk about a future superstar. He might cement his legacy right here tonight against a total package Lex Luger if he can somehow wrestle that U.S. title from him tonight.
You know, I've noticed one thing about Paulie Dangerously. He seems to speak with more confidence with having this man around.
Well, when you got a big man like that as your charge, and that's your meal ticket, I guess you are going to walk around with a bit of a cocky attitude.
And the fans rise, and there he is, the total package, Lex Luger, the U.S. Heavyweight Champion. And Bill, make no mistake about it, he had an opportunity to back out of this match and postpone it for a later time, and he said no way. He demanded on getting his hands on Mean Mark Callis tonight.
And he's a fighting champion too. The United States Heavyweight Champion. He will not back down from a challenge. He knows what's on the line here. He's not only fighting for that title, Mark, he's also fighting for, I got to believe, personal pride here as well. And really, if you really think about it, shut the mouth of Paulie dangerously once and for all.
Well, that's a hard task in and of itself.
You got a point there. Luger 6'5", 275. This is going to be another clash of the behemoths. The irresistible force and the immovable object, I guess you would say version 2. This is going to be a physical confrontation.
I'm glad you could say that. I couldn't spit it out earlier. And that's what we're fighting for, the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. And Bill, we know that Mean Mark can hit the heart punch on the total package. The question is, can the total package lift up that 318-pound frame of Mean Mark for the torture rack?
Well, we've seen some incredible feats of strength by the total package. If there is any man in professional wrestling who would be able to get this big monster up in any kind of offensive maneuver, especially like the human torture rack, it's got to be the total package.
And the introduction is being made by our good friend Gary Michael Capetta. As a total package, he's staring down Mean Mark. He knows what's on the line here. It's more than just the U.S. title. It's his health. It's his physical health.
It's health, it's pride, it's payback, it's retribution. You got to think, we all probably thought that he wouldn't even make this match, but as I said, he is a fighting champion, and he's certainly not going to let this Baltimore crowd down. As you see, the referee displays the United States Heavyweight Championship belt. That's what they're fighting for, Mark. This is going to be a classic.
I concur, and the bell has rung, and Luger going to work right away with a big right hand, throws Mean Mark into the turnbuckle, charges and nails a clothesline in the corner. And Luger flexing to the crowd, but that allowed Mean Mark to get back to his feet.
Yes, it did. Oh, man, what a belly-to-back suplex, and that's just not any belly-to-back suplex. He's coming from almost 7 feet down.
Oh, and it rolls up from behind. He has a pinned one. Oh, and a kick out at 1 by Mean Mark. And Luger using his speed to his advantage there, and he may have to do that the bulk of this match.
I can't get over the size of this Mean Mark. 6'9", 6'10", 318. Luger's 6'5", 275, and he almost dwarfs Luger.
Oh, and Mean Mark draping the head of Luger across that top rope. And now and the big side elbow, and in the corners, Lex Luger. And now Mean Mark working the arm of the total package, a wise maneuver. You take away the arm, you take away that power slam and that torture rack backbreaker. And a big boot takes down Luger. Goes for the cover, but we have new champion. 1, 2, and 3. No! Luger kicks out.
Oh, wow, that was close.
That was closer than it should have been, Bill, this early in the match, I think.
Well, with all the hammering that Mean Mark's been doing on Luger, and again, you're coming in damaged goods, especially after that hard punch that we saw recently. There's no question in my mind that Luger is already coming in hurt.
Now Mean Mark throws Luger into the ropes. Down goes the referee, and Luger moves out of the way. Mean Mark tied up to the tree of woe. And a shoulder block by Luger, and now Luger, a reversal by Mean Mark. And a reversal by Luger. These two men throwing each other around like they weigh nothing, Bill.
Probably two of the most agile big men in the sport today. And again, I can't say enough about Mean Mark. A man his size, that kind of strength and agility. What an awesome competition here for Lex Luger.
And a big shoulder block off the second turnbuckle. Lex Luger does not go off the top rope or second rope often, but when he does, he usually hits. Rolls over. There. Mean Mark goes for the cover. Referee out of position 1, and a kick out at 1 by Mean Mark. And Mean Mark has him up and down with a choke slam, Bill. This could be the precursor to the hard punch. He's setting him up.
He might be setting him up for it here.
Luger, had it well scouted, and a kick to the midsection. Reversal by Luger. Nicely done. Up and over the top rope goes Mean Mark.
Marco's sailing over the top. You better watch out for Dangerously out there.
And the referee's begun to count. This works to the champion's advantage. If these men get counted out, Luger will retain the title.
Titles only change hands on a pinfall or a submission.
And Paulie Dangerously having words with his charged Mean Mark, saying, get back in the ring.
I think Mean Mark needs a break after the beating he just took. He sailed over the top rope. He's winded. He's dazed right now. Now might be the chance for Luger to really put him away. There's a power slam, Mark.
Beautifully done by Luger. And Luger now working over Mean Mark, running. Ooh, but Mean Mark moved out of the way and caught Luger. And a clothesline from behind, and down goes the package.
If you don't run through Mean Mark, how are you supposed to run around him? He's so athletic. He's so big.
You got that right. Now he's slowing down the pace. But Luger, using his head as a weapon, breaks that maneuver. Oh, and Mean Mark misses a shoulder block. Luger climbing to the top rope, Bill.
He's going up. He's going up.
And a big axe handle. Down goes Mean Mark. Luger not going for the cover. I'm not sure I agree with that tactic.
You got a chance to put a guy like Mean Mark away. You better do it. He'll make you pay for it.
And a DDT by Mean Mark goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and 3. No, Luger kicks out.
I can't believe he kicked out of that. I thought that might have been a changing of the title right there.
And Mean Mark having words with the referee, tying up Luger now in a submission maneuver. Can the package escape?
Oh, wow. He is torquing on that right shoulder, too. But Luger's fighting his way out of it. Yep.
He shifts his way out of it. And now Luger with a takedown of Mean Mark. And Luger needs to stay on top of Mean Mark, but Mean Mark wisely rolls to the outside. Luger now going after Mean Mark. Luger will block to the midsection, and a sunset flip by Mean Mark has Luger pinned. The referee counts 1, 2, now a kick out of 2.
A sunset flip by a 6'9", 6'10", 318-pound man. What agility on the part of Mean Mark.
And now Mean Mark throws Luger into the turnbuckle. Oh, and a big series of elbows in the corner. Down goes Luger. Luger's in trouble. Drops the elbow across the chest.
Luger's going to have to mount a comeback here soon, or he might be kissing that United States title goodbye.
And here it comes. Mean Mark setting him up. It could be the heart punch again.
Could be. Nope.
Picks him up with Luger reversal. Neck breaker. Down goes Mean Mark. I gotta give the package credit here, Bill. He's had the hard punch well scouted in this contest.
He's taken a lot of physical blows. He has had it scouted. Oh, he just throws him.
Threw Luger almost out of the ring.
How often do you see that? Wow. Luger's in trouble here, Mark. I gotta say, Luger is in trouble.
And Mean Mark going to work on the lower back. Goes for the... No, not a cover. He has a submission maneuver locked in.
Oh.
He's tying up Luger like a pretzel.
How in the world will he ever get out of this hole?
And Luger needs to make sure his shoulders are not on the mat. But Luger able again to get out of the submission maneuver. But Luger feeling the effects of that. And a big right-handed... Wait, here it comes, Bill.
Here it comes.
He's up. He's up in a torture rack. He has him up.
Could this be it?
Luger has Mean Mark. I can't believe the strength of the total package. Will Mean Mark be able to escape?
The referee's checking him.
Oh, and a big series of red hands by Mean Mark gets out of the maneuver. And Luger's stunned.
I can't believe he got out of that.
I can't believe he got him in it. Into the ropes goes Luger. Mean Mark saying, this is it. Signaling the end. He better get on him is right. Oh, and Luger lured him into a false sense of security and down. Oh, and a big clothesline by Luger. Luger throws him into the turnbuckle and down goes Mean Mark.
I still can't get over the fact, like you said, that he actually got him up in the torture rack.
A big red-handed. He's going for it again, Bill.
This could be it this time.
Mean Mark in the torture rack. Luger has it locked in the middle of the ring. Is Mean Mark gonna tap? Mean Mark trying to fight out of it with everything he can.
The referee's asking him.
Paulie dangerously beside himself at ringside.
And that's a large pair.
Luger has his rack locked in, but Mean Mark fighting out of it. Mean Mark making the adjustment, 300 plus pounds moving, adjusting on the shoulders of Luger. I think he's going to get out.
It seems like he's held him up there forever. Has he got it?
And Mean Mark breaks the maneuver again.
Oh.
And another choke slam on the way. Mean Mark. Down goes Luger.
Ooh. I think he maybe hit his head on that bottom turnbuckle too, Mark.
Luger rolls out of the ring. Back in the ring now is Luger. Mean Mark with a side slam. Down goes Luger.
A devastating, but I can't believe he held him up there that long. In the torture rack, and now that side suplex. Uh-oh, he's setting for him, Mark.
And now Luger has Mean Mark setting him up for a kick by Mean Mark.
No way.
Ooh. And Luger has him rolled up from behind, has him pinned 1, 2, and 3.
He got him. What a match! What a match!
Here are some highlights from this contest, but Lex Luger survives Mean Mark Callis.
Unbelievable display by both men, but it was Luger in the end who resourcefully got the pin. As we take a look at some of the action that went down earlier on here.
Lex Luger had Mean Mark in the torture rack not once but twice, and Mean Mark able to power out both times.
Unbelievable match. Unbelievable match. What a win by the total package. He
Absolutely.
definitely earned that title tonight.
Absolutely, and Luger picks up the U.S. title, and he's going to head back to the dressing room still. Your United States Heavyweight Champion. Fans, the World Tag Team titles are on the line next as the Rock and Roll Express Challenge Doom. Don't go away, we'll be right back. And here they are making their way to the ring, the challengers for the World Tag Team Championship, the 5-time former NWA World Tag Team Champions Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express.
Well, as we see the Rock and Roll Express come to the ring, you got to think that, Mark, this might be their final chance if they can't pull off, I would say, a miracle win against the devastating World Tag Team Champions, Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, the Team of Doom.
Ricky and Robert have taken on all challengers. They just found themselves surviving a steel cage match against the fabulous Freebirds, who thought that they should have been getting the World Tag Team title shot tonight. But it's Ricky and Robert who get that one final opportunity, but in order to win the World Tag Team titles tonight, they will need to go through the Team of Doom.
And that is certainly not going to be a short task. The veterans, the Rock and Roll Express, I don't think have ever faced a team as devastating as the team led to the ring by Theodore R. Long.
Do not call him Peanut Head. He is the manager of the World Tag Team Champions. Butch Reed on the left, Ron Simmons on the right, the former All-American from Florida State University.
Hacksaw Butch Reed, arguably one of the toughest to ever lace boots. A former Mid-South North American heavyweight champion. He's held championships all over professional wrestling. But this team together, I can't say as I've ever seen such a devastating duo as this team right here with Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
And you know, their careers here in World Championship Wrestling seem to skyrocket after they lost the masks to the Steiner brothers back in February.
It certainly is the case, and they've been on a meteoric rise ever since, and they're looking to walk out of Baltimore with those belts firmly in their possession. And you got to think, much like we saw with the U.S. title match, that little extra at ringside, I can't say that we probably won't be seeing him in this. I have to think that you better keep your eyes on old Theodore R. Long.
I concur with that statement, Bill, and I also have to feel that if Butch Reed and Ron Simmons can walk out somehow with a victory, whether it's a a pinfall, a countout, a disqualification, that they will never have to face the Rock and Roll Express again, and they can eliminate this team from their title defense. And we saw earlier tonight, the Horsemen are breathing down the necks, the Steiner brothers, the Midnight Express, the Southern Boys. The tag team division here in World Championship Wrestling is at an all-time high, and the Rock and Roll Express win or go home.
That's exactly right. This is it. They either win the titles tonight here in Baltimore, or as we've said, they will not receive another championship title match.
Ricky Morton starting in the ring against Butch Reed. Bill, I'm being informed that somebody has actually broken up Paul Orndorff and Stan Hansen, so World Championship Wrestling officials have gotten involved, and we will not be hearing from Paul Orndorff or Stan Hansen anymore this evening.
Well, thank goodness. Hopefully they called in the National Guard to break them up. They were waging war in the back in the Baltimore arena, but here we are in the World Tag Team Championship match, Mark, and I gotta say, if I wasn't rooting for the Rock and Roll just a little bit, you gotta figure former World Tag Team Champions on multiple occasions. This is do or die for them in this one.
And nice double team work on the part of Doom, a drop toe hold into an elbow drop, and now the All-American Ron Simmons in the ring stopping away on Robert Gibson.
And you got to think, too, with the Rock and Roll Express, how much did that cage match that they had with the Fabulous Freebirds take away from them coming into this match? Is Robert Gibson going fist and fire on Ron Simmons?
That's a great point. And again, the Fabulous Freebirds felt that they should have been in the world title picture as well. Gibson throws Simmons into his corner, does not make a tag. Oh, here comes a tag. Up and over with Simmons, drop kick by Morton, takes down the All-American, goes for the cover. The referee counts 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Ron Simmons.
A near fall there, and we saw some classic tag team strategy by the Rock and Roll Express with the blind tag and the drop kick, drop down. That's classic Rock and Roll Express style. It's getting physical early.
Yeah, look at how much this match means to Robert Gibson. They're Rock and Roll Express are not known to bending the rules, but it's a tag team double tag in the double tag maneuver on Ron Simmons in the corner.
You got to think there has to be some sort of a sense of urgency on the Rock and Roll Express part, and we keep saying it, but if they don't get it done tonight, we may never see an opportunity for the World Tag Team Championship to go around the waist of the Rock and Roll for a 6th time.
Simmons makes a tag, but Morton walks right into a clothesline by Butch Reed. Another clothesline. Down goes Morton. And a double axe handle takes down Ricky Morton.
Butch Reed with those soup bones. He's known to hammer people. He's got some devastating blows with those right hands.
Now Morton working over the arm of Butch Reed. A wise maneuver as Butch Reed uses that shoulder block from the second turnbuckle to put his opponents away.
He's been known to put many a competitor away with that shoulder block off the top rope. Oh, what power by Ricky Morton.
Absolutely, nicely done. Morton climbed to the top rope. Could it be that knee drop from the top rope? No, Reed getting back to his feet. What does Morton have in store? He leaves in a diving drop kick. A diving drop kick goes for the cover. Will we have new champions? 1, 2, and no, a kick out by Reed.
So close right there. I thought that was the changing of the titles right there, Mark.
I think the fans here in Baltimore thought so as well, as Morton with an elbow drop goes for the cover. Will we have new champions? 1, and the kick out of 1 this time. And I think Butch Reed is a little upset here.
Well, he certainly got his bell rung after that devastating back elbow off the second turnbuckle by Ricky Morton. Is now Robert Gibson fresh off the tag. And you got to think he's got to pick up where Ricky Morton left off and keep the pressure on the champions.
And a submission maneuver by Robert Gibson has Butch Reed in trouble, but Reed able to power out.
Too much power early on. Too much power early on.
And those tree trunk-sized legs by Butch Reed. And a kick to the midsection and Reed staying on top. And a shoulder block takes down Robert Gibson.
A former football player on the gridiron in his own right with the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, whoa, what did...
Wait,
Long just threw a chair in the ring, Mark.
Chair in the ring. Reed with a shoulder block off the top rope. Takes down Gibson.
That's usually where he puts his opponents away, Mark.
Reed dragging. Gibson's not moving. Goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and 3.
Unbelievable. What an upset. I got to think that's an upset.
Doom has put away the Rock and Roll Express. And, I mean, Butch Reed nailed that shoulder block from the second turnbuckle, and Robert Gibson did not move. I think Gibson might be hurt, Bill.
I think you might be right. He wasn't moving at all. As we take a look at some of the action that went down earlier on in this one, we thought that might be it after that blind tag, classic Rock and Roll Express tag team strategy, but it wasn't to be there. And what a missile drop kick off the top here, as we're going to see here momentarily. I thought that might be it too, knocking the wind out of Reed, but again, it wasn't to be.
Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson will no longer receive a World Tag Team title opportunity, while Doom are the World Tag Team Champions. And from what we've seen tonight from Doom, that may be a very long time, Bill.
I was just going to say, the way they've been putting opponents away, they got to be unstoppable at this point. Who can beat this awesome tag team combination that Theodore R. Long has assembled here? The World Tag Team Champions. It's going to take a special team to get the belts off these men.
Bill, it's time for our main event. It will be next as Ric Flair challenges Sting, his final opportunity for the world title while Sting is champion. Don't go away. We'll be right back. And Bill, here we are. The main event. Nature Boy Ric Flair will have one final opportunity to wrest the NWA World Championship away from the grasp of Sting.
It's come down to this. This is what we've all been waiting for. And there you see, arguably the greatest NWA champion of all time, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Could this be it for him? Just like we saw with the Rock and Roll Express. And I gotta say, Ole Anderson coming to the ring, this seems a little strange. Normally Ric Flair, especially in big title opportunities such as this, he's usually a loner, but when you have the head of the Horsemen out there with Ole Anderson out there, Sting, I gotta say this, might be at a disadvantage, even though he's the champion.
Well, we saw Ole Anderson's presence at ringside pay dividends earlier tonight.
Yes, sir.
In that match involving Tully, Blanchard, and Arn Anderson against the Steiner brothers. As Ric Flair's theme music comes to an end, and we turn it to Gary Michael Capetta.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Venice Beach, California, weighing 261 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, Sting!
And there's the introduction from Gary Michael Capetta. The World Heavyweight Champion Sting making his way to the ring. He won this title by defeating Nature Boy Ric Flair back at Wrestle War in February. But not before Ric Flair turned his back on Sting, joining the original Four Horsemen.
I don't think I've ever seen Sting look any better than he looks here tonight. It's going to have to take a tremendous effort by Nature Boy Ric Flair to wrest the title off of Sting and be an unprecedented 7-time World Heavyweight Champion.
Bill, Ric Flair said it last week in an interview. He said, on his best day, his best is better than Sting's best. And I believe that Ric Flair believes that. And Sting believes that he can beat Ric Flair. These two men believe that they can beat each other. Something has to give.
It's one of those irresistible force meeting the immovable object again. They've been on a collision course for just about the entire calendar year. And could this be the time where Sting solidifies himself as the champion and puts down the challenge of the former 6-time World Heavyweight Champion? And would this be the last time that that man ever sees that belt again?
At least while Sting is the champion, that is what he's fighting for, that World Heavyweight Championship. And just look at the contender. Look at what we saw tonight here, Bill. Lex Luger with an impressive victory over Mean Mark. There are lots of men out there that want a shot at the world champion, and I have to think that regardless of who wins this match, that the list of contenders is a mile long.
Ooh.
Big clothesline by Sting, has the advantage in the early going, and showing off to the fans here in Baltimore.
You mentioned the list of contenders being a mile long, but Sting being the fighting champion that he is as well, that will not, has not, and will never look past any opponent.
Absolutely. And Sting taking down Flair, and an elbow drop nicely done by the Stinger. Picks up Flair. Sting on top, as Woman has joined Ole Anderson at ringside, so now Sting has to be mindful of two people at ringside.
Well, she must have snuck her way out there somehow, but you're right. Now there's two factors on the outside he needs to be aware of. Got a lateral press here.
And Flair kicking out at one, and Sting staying on top of Flair as he has to do. Throws Flair into the ropes. Up and over the top goes Ric Flair.
Sting pausing for a moment. You got to think that as he calls out to the tens upon thousands here in the Baltimore arena, he knows what's at stake here.
And Flair with a punch in the midsection, running clothesline, takes down Sting, nicely done. And Ric Flair now with a knee to the back. And Flair dragging Sting to the center of the ring, stopping again on the back, working the arm. I mean, Flair non-stop, relentlessly going at your Sting here in the opening contest. Opening moments of the contest.
Absolutely, and you got to think that Flair has that sense of urgency as well as he goes with the double arm suplex.
Up and over goes Sting, and Sting's in trouble for the first time in this matchup.
The sense of urgency is there for Flair, and you got to think at some point in this matchup, you're going to have to see Ric Flair eventually go downstairs and work on them legs of Sting and possibly set him up for his coup de grace maneuver, the figure four leg lock.
And Sting now trying to make a comeback with a series of punches, takes down Flair. Sting going for a kick, blocked by Flair while scouted by the Nature Boy.
And that leg whip certainly didn't do that knee any justice either, and you got to figure Flair being the consummate veteran he is, as we know, we've heard and we've probably said it ourselves, the dirtiest player in the game, you got to think he's going to go to work on those legs sooner rather than later.
And now Flair with a submission maneuver, pulling back on the head of Sting. Sting trying to fight his way out, is able to shift his body weight and gets out of the maneuver. But Flair maintains control, throwing Sting to the outside. Hip toss back in, and Sting again in trouble. Flair staying on top of Sting.
And he's going to have to. As long as Sting is off his vertical base and horizontal, he's in Flair's backyard. He's right where Flair needs him. If Sting is vertical and he's up on his feet, he can use his power game, his quickness, and that is not where Flair wants him to be, Mark.
And Sting again ramming the back of his head into the face of Ric Flair, breaking the maneuver, clothesline over the top rope goes Flair. Sting now back in control. And Sting following Flair to the floor. The referee has begun a count.
He hooks him.
Look at the strength of Sting. Has Flair up in a suplex. He's flexing. Look at that, Bill.
What power by the heavyweight champion of the world.
And down goes Flair, and it's well documented that Ric Flair survived a plane crash in 1975, and his back was broken in that plane crash. And Ric Flair getting suplexed on the arena floor does no good to his back.
No, and you got to think with all the beatings and all the matches that Flair has had over the years, you got to think about how degenerated that back had become over the years. And Sting, obviously being a student of the game, realizes that, and maybe that suplex is obviously part of his strategy.
Sting throwing Flair back into the ring. He's going to roll over Flair, go for the cover. Will Sting retain? Referee out of position. 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Ric Flair. Oh, and Sting missing a maneuver, giving Flair an opportunity here. Kick to the midsection, setting him up for a pile driver, Bill.
Oh, what a devastating pile driver that was. I mean, he got all of that one, Mark. Well, here comes a patented maneuver by the Nature Boy.
The knee drop to the head, and that is the precursor to the figure four. Flair setting up Sting. Could we have a new World Heavyweight Champion? Flair going for the figure four.
He's got it locked in.
It's locked in the middle of the ring. Sting trying to fight with everything he can. Can Sting escape? Will Flair win? Number 7, it's locked in.
Sting's power. He's trying to come out of it, Mark, and he turned it over.
A reversal by Sting, but the damage may have been done to the leg. Both men wobbly, Sting in control with a series of back elbow strikes. Flair into the ropes, stalemate, and a leaping DDT, down goes Flair.
What a comeback by the Stinger after being trapped in that figure 4 leg lock.
An elbow drop by Sting. He can feel the momentum. The fans here in Baltimore have risen to their feet. Sting in control, picks up Flair. And
He's never been closer to getting victory than he is right now.
And Sting staying on top of Flair. Very wise to do so. Throws Flair into the turnbuckle, charges, clothesline in the corner. Down goes Flair.
Flair's in trouble, Mark. He's in trouble. Sting needs to capitalize on it and look to take this thing home and look to get that elusive victory. Wait, he's going for the Scorpion.
The Scorpion locked in on Flair. Flair makes it to the ropes. Flair makes it to the ropes.
And you got to think that all that pressure that Flair had on Sting in that figure 4 leg lock was coming back at him right there.
A collective sigh of relief from Woman and Ole Anderson at ringside, with Flair in trouble as Sting throws Flair into the ropes. Up and down goes Flair, face first to the mat. Sting howls to the crowd.
He's going outside.
Climbing the top rope, Bill. This is something we don't see Sting do very often.
No, we don't. What's he going to do here? Oh, he went for an elbow.
Misses an elbow at the top rope, and Flair back in control. Whip Sting into the ropes. Back body drop, up and over goes Sting. Bill, Flair can feel the momentum change. Ric Flair in control.
He certainly can. The veteran knows. He smells it. He knows that victory is within his grasp right now, and he better stay on Sting if he wants to walk away with that championship for an unprecedented 7th time.
That patent knee drop goes for the cover. Sting's in trouble. Referee counts 1, and a kick out of 1 by Sting.
And you could see the look of desperation on Flair right there. He's like, what am I going to have to do to put this man away?
Flair setting up Sting. It could be the figure 4 again, Bill.
He's setting up for him. He takes him down. He calls out to the crowd. This might be. Yes, it is. The figure 4. He's got it locked in again, Mark.
It's locked in the middle of the ring. Can Sting? He escaped it the first time. Can Sting escape again? Flair in the middle of the ring has Sting locked in the figure 4.
I can't imagine that he could get out of this. He's had it locked in for the last couple seconds here. The pain's got to be excruciating.
But Sting turning it over, and does. He reverses it.
I can't believe it. He turned it over again.
Sting now with the momentum. Howls to the crowd. Can Sting put Ric Flair away? Clothesline. Another clothesline. A third clothesline. Flair in the corner. Sting has him set up. Stinger splash in the corner.
This could be it, Mark. This could be it. He might be setting him up for the Scorpion Deathlock.
The fans are at a fever pitch. Sting turns over Flair. It's locked in. The Scorpion Deathlock.
Flair is struggling. He's in excruciating pain.
Flair so close to tapping out. Can he make it to the ropes? Can he escape this maneuver? And Flair!
He powered out of it! He powered out of it, Mark! I don't believe it!
Very impressive! Sting on top of Flair, but Flair powered out of the Scorpion Deathlock! Flair now, reversal by Sting into the turnbuckle! Clothesline in the corner, down goes Flair! Sting climbing up to the top rope, he missed a maneuver earlier in the contest!
He's going up again, Mark!
He leaves and
he
nails
nailed
an elbow! Goes for the cover! Referee counts 1, 2, and 3!
It's over!
Sting has defeated the Nature Boy Ric Flair! And Ric Flair will not receive another world title shot while Sting is World Heavyweight Champion!
And like we said with Doom, with the role that Sting's been on here of late, who knows if anybody will be able to get the title off of Sting, but what a match we just saw!
What a match and what a night of wrestling here in Baltimore at the Great American Bash. Here are some highlights from earlier in the contest.
There was the Stinger splash, and we thought after we got that Sting got the Scorpion on him right here, and he powered out of a Scorpion deathlock. Mark that one down on your book.
Fans, we thank you so much for joining us here at the Great American Bash on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel, the Wrestling Network Facebook page. We thank you so much for joining us, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
For Bill Knight, I'm Mark Lindsay. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.